Hello, friend. I'm Hope, and I'm really glad you're here today. Welcome to English with Hope, a calm space for your mind and your heart. In this channel, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to rush. Here, we learn English slowly. We listen to English gently. No pressure, no stress. And here, you are not alone. Wherever you are in the world, I'm right here with you. So relax your shoulders, take a slow breath, and let's begin. Sometimes, we find ourselves walking down a long street without knowing exactly where we want to go. Every single step is perfect. Your shoes are tied, and your posture is completely correct. But when you look up at the sky, you wonder if you are simply moving forward because the ground behind you is disappearing. It is an interesting phenomenon that happens to many smart, capable people. We get very good at doing our chores, reading our textbooks, and submitting our professional documents on time. But beneath that busy routine, we feel like we are playing a game where someone else invented all the rules. You look at your weekly schedule, and it is full of beautiful colors, important appointments, and high-priority deadlines. But when you ask yourself if you feel a warm sense of excitement about tomorrow morning, your mind becomes completely quiet. This is what it looks like when we possess an excellent engine, but no inner compass to guide our direction. You are running perfectly. Your gears are clean, and you are producing great energy for the people around you. But your ship is moving across the water without a clear destination, simply following the current of the sea. If you feel this light sense of drift today, I want you to drop your shoulders completely. Let your breath out slowly. You are definitely not ungrateful for the good things in your life. You are simply a human being who is ready to open a new, authentic chapter. Your heart is giving you a very encouraging invitation right now through this quiet moment. It is telling you that you have mastered the art of everyday survival, and now it is time to master the art of intentional living. We are going to find your true inner lighthouse together, step by simple step. Finding a beautiful sense of direction is not a race, and it is not an intense competition against time. We often hear people say that we must find a grand purpose immediately to become truly successful in society. But what happens if we look at this situation through a much friendlier, gentler perspective? Purpose is not a massive prize that is hidden somewhere at the top of a distant, dangerous mountain. Instead, think of purpose as a steady, gentle beam of warm light coming from an inner lighthouse. This light does not look at your past mistakes, your age, or your professional background. It simply sits inside you, waiting for you to turn your head and look at its warm reflection. When we understand this truth, the pressure to look perfect in front of everyone else starts to drop away. We realize that we can navigate our current waters with an incredible feeling of joy, security, and patience. You do not have to move mountains today, and you certainly do not have to change the entire world by tonight. We can look at your life as an interesting landscape that is ready to receive a tiny bit of fresh water. By simply sitting here with me, you are giving your busy mind a magnificent opportunity to relax and recalibrate. Let us drop the idea that you are behind or that you are running out of important time. You are exactly where you need to be to discover what makes your individual spirit smile. Let us move forward on this pleasant journey together, step by simple step. Sometimes, to find our true direction, we have to completely lose our way first. I know this truth so well because I had to live through it myself. A few years ago, before I began this podcast, I was not a guide. I was just another tired traveler caught in a storm. I lived in a crowded city and worked a standard 9-to-5 corporate office job. Every single morning, my alarm would ring at 6 o'clock, and a wave of stress would immediately wash over my mind. I would drink my coffee in a hurry, run to catch the crowded morning train, and sit at a gray desk for 8 hours. I spent my days answering endless emails, filling out spreadsheets, and attending meetings. That meant absolutely nothing to my heart. Everyone around me told me this was what a successful adult life looked like. My managers praised my efficiency, and my family was glad. I had a stable salary and a safe position. They looked at me and saw someone who was doing everything right, someone climbing the corporate ladder. But at night, when I finally returned to my small apartment, the reality was completely different. I would sit alone on the edge of my bed, staring at my reflection in the dark glass of my window. I looked at my tired face, my tense shoulders, and I felt completely empty. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months, until the time began to bleed together into one giant loop. I realized a very painful thing about myself. I was no longer living. I was simply maintaining a biological routine. I was waking up just to pay my rent, and I was going to work just to wake up again tomorrow. I was living a life of perfect survival, but I had zero meaning inside my own heart. One weekend evening, the heavy stress and the emptiness became too much for me to carry alone. I shut down my laptop, walked away from the city noise, and traveled back to my childhood home to visit my grandmother. My grandmother was the most important person in my whole world. She was the very first person who had held my tiny hand when I was a child and taught me how to look at the world with curiosity. In those early days, she would sit with me in her sunny garden, and we would talk about our feelings without any deadlines or checklists. I sat on the clean wooden floor of my grandmother's kitchen and rested my head against her knees, just like I used to do when I was little. I let out a long, trembling breath and confessed the terrifying emptiness I felt inside that corporate loop. My grandmother listened in absolute, compassionate silence, gently stroking my hair with her warm hands. My dear, a secure job and a good salary are wonderful tools to support your physical life, but they are just the structure of the house. They are not the warmth inside the rooms. True purpose is never found in the speed of your routine or the approval of a company. It is found in the quiet moments where what you do connects perfectly to who you are. It is something so deeply aligned with your true identity that it becomes something you can live for and something you protect with your whole spirit. Those gentle words planted a magnificent seed of clarity inside my mind and changed my perspective forever. I went back to the city, but I did not look at my life through the same eyes anymore. I decided to stop letting my corporate job consume my entire identity. Every evening after my 9-to-5 work was done, I began to sit in a quiet corner of my room and edit videos about life, healing, and mental health. I spent hours cutting the clips, adjusting the colors, and matching the peaceful background music. not to become famous or to win an award, but to speak directly to anyone else who felt lost in the loop. When I first started uploading these videos to my channel, my numbers were very small, and some people in my life wondered why I was wasting my limited energy on a little hobby. But as I sat there editing late into the night, watching the stories come together on my screen, a massive wave of pride and deep, comforting peace washed through my chest. The heavy numbness was completely gone, because, for the first time in years, I was creating something with absolute, genuine honesty. Today, I still live a simple life, but it is completely beautiful and aligned. I am now the host of this little podcast, sitting here in this calm space, speaking directly to you. I do not care about looking flawless for critics, and I do not measure my worth by a corporate title. Instead, I spend my days creating a safe sanctuary where you and I can listen to English gently and heal our hearts together. On paper, my life might look smaller than a grand international career, but when I receive a message from you saying that these videos gave you comfort or helped you breathe a little easier through a stressful day, I feel completely happy. I have found my true inner lighthouse. I have discovered that my true purpose was to protect and pass on the beautiful flame of gentle connection to you, proving that real meaning is always found in the quiet devotion of our everyday choices. What happens to the human heart when life has no central purpose? Let us look at this scenario together as two close friends sitting down for a comfortable chat in a warm room. Have you ever noticed how a beautifully constructed boat behaves when it is not tied to a secure dock? It does not crash instantly into pieces, and it does not sink to the bottom of the ocean right away. Instead, it simply drifts with the moving water, floating wherever the gentle current decides to push it. This is exactly what happens to our daily lives when we do not have a clear, personal meaning guiding our choices. We still perform our daily activities perfectly well on the outside, just like I did at my corporate office desk. We wake up to our early alarms. We commute through the crowded streets, and we finish our daily checklists. We keep our living spaces clean, and we make sure our appearance looks completely fine for society. But without an authentic purpose, our daily routine starts to lose its vibrant, natural flavor. The mornings begin to look exactly like the evenings, and the days bleed together into one long, gray line. You find yourself looking at your phone or completing your tasks simply because it is an automatic habit. When we lose track of our unique inner values, our human motivation slowly changes its shape. We stop moving forward because we want to reach a beautiful destination that we genuinely care about. Instead, we start moving simply because we are afraid of standing completely still in the dark. This soft feeling of drift is actually a very normal, healthy milestone in your personal development. It is an encouraging sign that your spirit is asking for more alignment and more honesty. It means you are finally ready to find a direction that belongs completely to your own heart. Why do we feel a deep human need to find the meaning of life? I often think about this question when I am walking through a park or enjoying a quiet cup of tea. Why are we constantly searching for a personal lighthouse? And why can we not just satisfy ourselves with basic survival? The answer is incredibly beautiful and positive because it shows the true strengths of human nature. We are not biological machines that only require food, water, physical shelter, and a comfortable bed. We possess a deep heart that craves connection, contribution, and a sense of genuine understanding. A personal purpose acts as a brilliant anchor that protects your thoughts when the outside world gets incredibly loud. When you discover what truly matters to your heart, your everyday decisions become very easy to make. You no longer look at your friends or your neighbors to see if you are living your life correctly. You stop comparing your quiet timeline with their busy achievements or their expensive purchases. Why do you stop comparing? Because you are completely focused on watering your own beautiful garden. Having a clear direction fills your regular days with a wonderful, natural energy that money cannot buy. It transforms a boring chore into an important, joyful step toward a goal you actually respect. It gives you a solid, beautiful reason to smile when you open your eyes every single morning. We do not look for meaning to pass an exam or to look perfect in front of society. We look for meaning because we want to feel completely at home within our own minds. Why is it so difficult to hear our own inner compass in the middle of our modern lives? When we grow up, the world around us speaks with a very loud, commanding voice. Our schools tell us which subjects are important, and advertisements tell us what items will make us happy. Our social media feeds show us endless pictures of luxury, speed, and constant external validation. This constant noise creates a powerful shield that completely covers our true, quiet desires. We begin to adopt the goals of other people because we think that following the crowd will keep us safe. We tell ourselves that if we just get that specific degree or buy that specific car, we will finally feel complete. But this is a psychological defense mechanism that our minds use to avoid the fear of being different. We hide our true interests because we are afraid that our authentic path might look too small or too simple to the world. I spent years sitting at a corporate office desk because society told me that climb was a successful career. I ignored my true love for gentle connection because a quiet sanctuary does not look impressive on a resume. When you spend all your energy chasing external metrics, your inner lighthouse becomes dim. You are trying to light up a harbor that does not belong to you, using fuel that you cannot afford to waste. Discovering meaning requires us to gently lower this shield of external noise so we can listen to the whisper of our own values. You have to ask yourself what you truly care about when no one else is watching you. Can a powerful purpose grow from a single ordinary seed? If purpose is not a grand, dramatic mountain, then where does it actually begin its life? The wonderful truth is that a life of deep meaning always grows from very small, hidden seeds of curiosity. Think about my grandmother in her sunny garden with her gentle guidance. She did not have a grand plan to fix the entire environment of the city. She simply saw a single, confused child who needed warmth, and she chose to give it her attention. Your personal purpose might look like a small hobby that you enjoy doing during your quiet weekends. It might look like cooking a healthy meal for your family or teaching an English lesson to someone who wants to learn. It might look like writing down your thoughts in a journal or walking your dog through the green grass. The world wants you to believe that if a project is not massive, it has no real value. But that is a major misunderstanding, because every giant tree was once a tiny seed in the dirt. When you give your full presence and love to a small task, that task immediately fills with deep meaning. You do not need an audience of thousands of people to validate your contribution. The joy of creation and the warmth of genuine care are completely enough to wind your heart's spring. Let us realize that you already possess these seeds inside your mind right now. You do not need to purchase anything new, and you do not need to change your personality. You only need to look at your everyday spaces with softer, more appreciative eyes. How do we actually make the transition? From drifting in the fog to walking toward our lighthouse, the secret lies in changing how we view our daily actions and our limited time. When you are just surviving, your days happen to you by accident, and you are always reacting to external demands. You answer emails because they arrive, and you attend meetings because someone invited you. But when you shift to an intentional mindset, you begin to create a daily harvest of meaningful moments. You choose to direct your attention toward things that feed your spirit, even if it is only for 5 minutes a day. This shift does not require you to quit your job tomorrow or move to a different country. It simply means that you bring your full awareness into the actions you are already performing. If you are studying English right now, you are not just memorizing vocabulary words to pass a test. No, you are building a beautiful bridge so you can connect with other human hearts around the world. If you are preparing breakfast, you are not just consuming calories to keep your muscles moving. You are actively caring for your physical body because it is the only home your soul will ever have. This simple reframing changes the entire texture of your life. From gray concrete into bright color, you move away from the exhausting pressure of needing to save the world, and you arrive at a quiet, warm space where you realize that a meaningful life is built day by day. To help your heart stay connected to this beautiful path, let us talk about 3 simple micro habits you can practice every day. These habits do not require a lot of time, and they carry absolutely no pressure or stress. The first micro habit is called the morning compass check. When you open your eyes in the morning, do not touch your mobile phone or look at your notifications immediately. Instead, sit on the edge of your bed, place your hand on your chest, and ask yourself one simple question. What is one small way I can show kindness or dedication to my own values today? It could be as simple as drinking a glass of water mindfully, or sending an encouraging text message to a friend who is struggling. This tiny question immediately sets your inner compass before the noise of the world takes over your mind. The second micro habit is the preservation of a small green space in your daily schedule. Dedicate just 10 minutes every afternoon to doing something purely because it makes your spirit feel alive. Read a page of a creative book. Practice your English shadowing with a gentle voice, or look at the green leaves of a plant outside your window. During these 10 minutes, you are the absolute architect of your own sanctuary, and no external expectations are allowed to enter. The final micro habit is the evening gratitude harvest. Before you close your eyes to sleep, write down 3 tiny moments from your day that felt meaningful or warm. Do not look for massive achievements like a professional promotion or a grand public victory. Look for the tiny things, like the soft sound of the background music, a kind smile from a stranger, or the peaceful feeling of a quiet room. This practice trains your brain to look for purpose in the ordinary spaces of life. exactly like my grandmother taught me to do. These 3 small habits will wind your inner spring, and you will feel a deep sense of devotion returning to your heart. You are doing an incredible job, friend, and I'm so incredibly glad we are walking this path together. We have reached the end of our calm space today, but your journey toward an intentional life is just beginning. Thank you so much for listening to my story, for sharing this time with me, and for practicing your English. Remember that you are never alone, and your heart is a beautiful garden that is ready to grow at its own gentle, perfect pace. And if this lesson gave you something useful, I'd love it if you tapped like and subscribe to the channel. It helps you stay connected, and it also helps this little learning community grow. Every click really does make a difference. Goodbye for now, friend.